Welcome, Soccerholics community. I'm your host, Chris, today, and today I'm bringing you guys a new segment that I think will probably push the boundaries of football banter. It's called Breaking Into the Squads, or the abbreviation BITS. What we're going to be doing here, guys, is we're going to be looking at teams, we're going to be looking at players, and even look at the national teams of some teams. And as you can clearly tell today, I'm wearing a France jersey, so where else best to begin but the France national team? The France national team has thankfully qualified for the World Cup. I was a bit nervous. However, their issue is, unfortunately, they don't know what their best 11 is, let alone their best formation. So today I'm going to be suggesting maybe two players that possibly have a chance to break into the squad, into what some people believe is the starting 11 going into the World Cup in Russia next year. And those players are Nabi Fekir, which plays for Lyon, and Nzonzi, that plays for Sevilla. And Nzonzi, I believe, can break into the midfield because right now the midfield three, from what I recall right now, is Conte, which is a guarantee, and we have Pogba as well, and Matuidi. Now, out of those three players, unfortunately, I would like to say Matuidi is probably the weakest right now because of his age. I know he recently moved from PSG to go to Juve as well, and I think he's been doing okay at Juve. I haven't been following him as much, but I know Deschamps really wants to keep a good, solid setup with his French national team. They've been playing a 4-3-3 usually, or sometimes even a 4-2-3-1, with Pogba playing in the 10 role. However, what I do think is the issue is when you look at the forward problems, when you got players such as breaking in, such as Mbappe, Thomas Lemar, you still have Coleman from last year as well, you have Dembele as well, you have Griezmann, you have Giroud, you have Alexander Lacazette as well. There's a lot of issues there, and if there's four spots up top, it's going to be extremely difficult. In comes in, actually, I'm going to even throw in another player, Anthony Martial. Recently, he's done very well for Manchester United, and he's even got a call up this game, this past, friendlies. So my issue is, in comes Nabi Fekir. Even to cause Deschamps an even bigger headache. I know that he loves to have so many varieties and options, but when you have a team of this amount of depth of talent, some players are going to miss out. Remember, at the end of the day, only 23 players get to go to Russia to represent France for the national team, and you're probably going to want the most informed player. And right now, there's no more informed player, I believe, in the national team, out of the French national, any player, than Nabi Fekir. He's actually been rewarded with a call-up properly, and he's been praised by his celebration, the mimicking of Messi and Ronaldo's celebration of taking off the jersey and showing the opposition fans. What I would like to say is, though, with Nabi Fekir is that he has to find and define his role. He has the ability to play anywhere in that front four, but right now, in my head, there's only probably about two players, maybe even three players that are locked in that front four, and that is Mbappe, because why else? Griezmann, the hero of the Euros, and Olivier Giroud. Now, the special case with Olivier Giroud is if that didn't happen with the whole Benzema issue and Ribéry issue and Nasri issue, we wouldn't be able to see a player like Giroud, which is almost chasing history now. He's literally a national icon now for that national team, similar to Griezmann, as basically France fell in love with Griezmann at the Euros. So where does Nabi Fekir fit in? I think he can fit in at the 10. I know right now we're playing Mbappe right now on the right side, but Mbappe can also play up top as well, and the same thing can be said for Griezmann. It depends on your formation. Are we playing a 4-3-3, Dutch style? We can set it up differently, we can incorporate more players, or if we play a 4-2-3-1, we'll get more attackers. So for me, Nabi Fekir has to define what role is going to be good for him. If I'm manager, if I'm Deschamps, I want a balanced four. So if we have a striker, for instance, like my strike from four would probably be Mbappe up top. Then we'd have Griezmann on either the left side or the right side. We'd have Dembele on the left or the right. And then we can have Nabi Fekir. I think that would be a very deadly front four. And then you have the ability to also bring in Giroud off the bench to change the dynamic of the game. And to be honest, when you're talking about the French national team, there's so much different variety. There's so many players that I forgot. For instance, I totally forgot about Nzonzi. What I like about Nzonzi is that he had a successful season at Sevilla. And when I'm looking at that base two, for instance, in my team, you kind of need a bit more steel. He's 6'4". He used to play for Blackburn. Some people kind of don't remember him for being good, but he has a decent selection passing range. I'd like to say a bit better than Conte as well. And honestly, I think he's a good secondary option as a DM to hold, for the midfield. Spread the ball, let France have control, but also be a physical presence. So he kind of almost reminds me of a better version of Sissoko that kind of got overlooked. So for me, if I'm setting up this team right now, because the back four, unfortunately, I can't really do much more about, but that front six of Nzonzi, Pogba, then we can have Fekir in the middle, and then we can have Griezmann, and then Dembele on the right, and then Mbappe. I think that's really exciting. The only issue that's probably going to unfortunately hold back Nzonzi is probably his age. I know he's still young, probably between 26 29, but still, to get called up to go to the World Cup means a lot. And if you can be an additional option with Toulouse as well in the midfield, and then you have Conte as well on the bench, Deschamps will have a great opportunity to rotate his squad at the World Cup and not be feeling like he's losing quality. So he actually has a really good starting 11 and as well some good backups to rely on. So guys, that's it for me today. If there's any players or you guys think that should be breaking into the squad, please banter below in the comments below. Banter below, and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoy breaking into the squad, guys. Take care.